What's going on, Maya? How you doing?
I'm good. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. How you been?
I'm good. It's just doing shows, doing my thing, painting. All's
Nice.
good. How are you?
Doing good. Can't complain. Enjoying the Berlin winter.
Yeah, it's fucking ugly, huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This grayness. Now I realize how gray it is. I'm like, okay, this shit's been gray all day.
Yeah, it's straight up, just 50 shades of gray. It's not even 50 shades of gray. It's just like 1 or 2 shades of gray at most. It's really not that diverse.
Yeah. It's not a diversity of grayness here, even though it's
Yeah.
like the same sad shit.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? It's Berlin winter.
It's, not much, right? So you're a stand-up comedian, and then also you paint.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
I
so
make things.
yeah, you're a good painter too. Like ain't no finger paint bullshit.
Thank
You can really paint.
I thank you. I try.
So how'd you get into that? Like how'd you get into painting?
I've always been painting. It's always been a thing. Always just been ever since I was a kid. Ever since I could hold a pencil, I was just drawing things, and I just kept doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, I liked cartoons a lot when I was a kid. I liked Looney Tunes. So I really I was like obsessed with Looney Tunes, like to like a weird degree. Specifically you remember the skunk and the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I just kept drawing them.
You used to draw Pepe Le Pew.
I was drawing Pepe Le Pew and the cat, whatever the fuck the cat's name was, and I was just drawing them nonstop. And then I was just obsessed with them.
Right.
And then I just kind of accidentally became sort of decent at drawing because of that.
Because of Looney Tunes.
Yeah, and I liked the Coyote as well, and the Roadrunner. I was drawing them. Yeah, I liked all these characters and stuff, and I liked to draw them in my own way. And then I kind of, as I grew older, I started drawing all sorts of different stuff. Now I really like people. I paint a lot of people doing stuff, people sitting around. Because, I'm around, as a comedian, I'm around people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to capture them doing different things and feeling different ways. And yeah.
Wow. So okay, so now you moved on from cartoons to people, which is a good transition, right? I mean.
Actually, now I've been doing cartoons again, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Because I went to art school, and for a little bit I dropped out because I didn't really like it. It was very serious art, and there was a moment last year where I sort of lost enjoyment for art a little bit, for painting, because I was in this mindset that it has to be very serious, that it has to mean something, and that it has to be this like perfectionist kind of thing. And now I'm sort of trying to get into like, okay, what did I enjoy when I was a kid? And like using the skills that I have now to make the kind of things that I liked when I was a kid. But that's just what I've been thinking about lately.
That's interesting. I mean, so you lost passion, but then you came back to it, or so?
I wouldn't say I lost passion. I just had a bit of an artist's block.
An artist's block.
For a little bit. Yeah.
And was it like something you felt like while you were in school, or was it like you felt it before you was coming into school?
It was while I was in school, and then it kind of stuck around afterwards because I really didn't like the school. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the school. I just don't think I belong in those kind of systems, and that kind of way of making art was very traditional and very taking ourselves seriously. And I don't really like people that take themselves very seriously. And that kind of like put me off for a little bit. And then when I left, I was like, oh God. And then now I'm like really into it again, just making all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah. Damn, that's dope.
Yeah.
Huh. So, all right, before we get into the school stuff, you're from Poland?
Yes, I am Polish. I'm half Polish. My mom's Polish. My dad's American. I was born in Chicago, and then I moved to Poland when I was around like 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, most of my life in Poland, early childhood in the U.S.
Oh, okay. So at 4 years old, you left from Chicago,
something like that, yeah,
to Poland, and then did you come back to America? When did you come back? Like you came back like late in your later teens or something like that, or? I
mean, I went to I just kind of would go like during the summer to visit the U.S., but I never like lived there again after that.
Really?
No, I lived in Poland ever since.
Wow, because you know what's interesting, and this is again coming from America, so this is like you probably understand a little bit too, is that your English is like very distinct.
Yeah.
Like it's from like you sound like you're from Chicago.
Right? It's weird. I don't know how that works. It's just kind of stuck with me. But the thing is, when I moved to Poland, I went to a Polish school for a little bit, but then that was just like for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
But then my mom started teaching in an international school.
Mm.
And that was like a school that's all the way from like kindergarten up to high school in
Right.
one school, fully in English, right? So because she was teaching there, I went to that school for free. So my whole education was in English, basically.
Wow.
My whole like middle school, high school education, everything was in English.
Right.
I spoke with like my closest friends, we spoke in English, and I was always consuming English media as well, like watching movies in English, reading in English, playing video, everything in English. So I think that's kind of why the language has stuck with me, and I speak it better than I speak Polish for sure.
Yeah, I mean, with that accent, I'm telling you. Like, hold on. So, okay, English school you going to, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, what things were you watching at that time to have this type of like accent? 'Cause I'm telling you, you sound like you're from Chicago.
Shameless.
Yeah. Oh, you was watching Shameless.
Oh, I love Shameless.
Oh, that makes fucking
Shameless,
sense.
but also comedians like Bill Burr. I loved and all sorts of different stuff. You
Yeah.
know? I don't know. It kind of sticks. I don't know. I don't know why.
That makes sense now. 'Cause I'm like, yo, this like even the mannerism. I'm not even. I guess because also I watch things from Chicago too as well. So like even hearing you, the way you move, you do your stand up and stuff. I'm like, yo, how long you been in Chicago? And you're like, nah,
Yeah, I
not
don't
really.
know. It's weird. It's just kind of a lot of things just sort of stuck. I don't know if it's like in your blood. Maybe this is evidence that my blood is from Chicago.
Probably
right?
so. Yeah,
I think that's what it might be. I don't know.
that's interesting. Wow. So. Did that set you apart from other people? Because like that accent you have, that ain't no general English that's spoken around the world. Like, you know, it's usually like UK or like kind of like, hi, how you, like very like, you know, or at best maybe Californian type of or mid-Atlantic type of English. But yours is like straight gritty, like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
got
you
that
took the
edge
trains in
to it.
Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know. I also I feel like it kind of once I started doing stand up, I like my voice got louder and more intense. Like I mean, I was a kid before I started stand up when I was 18, so I was a child before I started it. But I feel like I was kind of quieter then, and now that I've been doing stand up, I've sort of learned how to like open my fucking mouth, you know. And I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I guess in school people would say that like, oh, you have a super American accent because I don't know, it's just stuck, the American accent. I don't know.
Yeah, because like that's it would be to the you have it so good that I can't lie and say I've been to Chicago. You know, if I was to ever lie and be like, oh yeah, I know about Chicago, deep dish pizza, all this stuff, like you have the demeanor to be like, yeah, but what street did you go on? Like what pizza shop? You're like, shit, I went to Delisandro's. I don't.
That's a thing in the U.S., right? Where people really like to gatekeep their cities.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a thing, right?
And
Like
like
I've
to
noticed
test you.
that. Like even when I meet other people from Chicago and I say I'm from Chicago, they start like asking me a million questions. And because I didn't really live there that long,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I say, I'm from like near West Side, Little Italy. I don't really know.
Yeah.
And then they get all like, oh, I don't think you're really from Chicago. And I'm like, I am. I just haven't really lived there, motherfucker. But they get so intense about it. Like it's New Yorkers as well. They're like, you're not a real New Yorker if you haven't fucking eaten this pizza and fucking jerked off in this corner of the street and fucking smelled this homeless guy. You're not a real fucking New Yorker. It's like, dude, calm down. It's just a city. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, that is so true. Yeah, every city
Yeah.
has that thing. Especially if you're like, they assume you're from there, or you live there, you acting like you have some type of ownership. They always, like, you know, for me, I'm born in Jersey, but I've been living in New York for a while now.
Yeah.
And you know, usually people are like, oh, you're from New York, and it's just easy. Like, you know, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm from New Jersey, but then blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
move. I'm like, yeah, I'm
yeah.
New York, whatever. But then you got some people that when they hear that, they be like, yeah, but what PS did you go to? What public school did you go
Yeah,
to?
yeah.
And
What
I'm
high
like,
school? Like, dude.
yeah, I'm like, what kind of weird behavior is this? Like, did you peak in high school? Like,
Yeah,
did
no, they definitely peaked in high school.
that, you only asking that if your high school is your best moments in your life. Like, oh, what high school did you go to? It's like, hey, look, bro, we out of high school now. I'm doing good in life. Just relax.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But that's really an American thing. People in Europe don't really do that where they're like, oh, you're really from fucking Frankfurt, dude? What street in Frankfurt are you from? Like, nobody does that. You know what I mean? People are just like, you're from where you're from.
Yeah.
That's it.
So they don't do that out here in Europe. They don't do that thing
they're not
where
really
like
gatekeepy at all. No, that's a very American thing. I've noticed that people are very like intense about their cities.
wow.
Yeah, people. I
Interesting.
mean, I think Berlin people can kind of be like that a little bit. Berlin is sort of in there where like you get these people like, oh yeah, you're a real Berliner. Have you been born here? And it's like, you know, I don't know. I guess it's fine, but normally you don't get a lot of people being like gatekeeping their cities. You know,
That's interesting. That's a mind fuck actually, because we do that so much in America. You just assume. So
yeah.
it's almost to the point that we take it a step further, where it's like, all right, if you're from this part of town and somebody else is from that part of town, we just gonna assume y'all know each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, y'all, yeah, you know, so and so from Brooklyn, right? Like y'all, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, no, yo, so and so from down the street, yo, used to live on Saratoga and blah blah. And they're like, nah, I don't know who he is. It's a big place. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah, I'd say only like Berlin can be like that, and Paris probably with the French people.
I mean, yeah.
They're fucking ass. No, French people are fine, but Parisians are fucking annoying. But yeah, I'd say Paris can be like that as well, like gatekeepy. But yeah, the rest I don't really know. I can't really. It doesn't like that just strikes me as very American. All the questions of like, oh, which street, what high school, blah, 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 blah. That's very an American thing.
Yeah, very, very, very American. So, okay, you said your mom Polish, your father is from Chicago. Right?
He's from Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Sorry, from Michigan. Was there any like similarities or differences like from like that type of culture, Midwest culture, and then Polish culture? Was there any like,
similarities
or differences or?
Oh man, I mean, there's so many differences. I don't like the. I wasn't old enough to really feel the culture difference, feel the culture shock, because I was a kid when I moved to Poland, you know.
Right.
But I'd say like Chicago is definitely like, I mean, people are louder, people are more like, hi, how are you? Like in your fucking face, which is fine. But in Poland, it's like the polar opposite of that, where it's like a little too much. Where like you'll go to like order a coffee and they'll be like, oh, okay, coffee.
Oh wow.
They're very like they will stare at you if they like. Old people do this in Poland so much where they just, if they don't like what you're wearing or you like look weird. I get it a lot because I have like colored hair and shit like that. Old people will just sit on the bus and fucking just
really
stare at you, dude, just like through you. It's intense. And yeah, that doesn't, I don't know, I didn't notice that. There's this like really like, people are very judgy in Poland, very like, oh, did you hear what they did? Did you hear what she's wearing? Blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
But in the US, they're more like, I don't know, they're just intense. They're just in your face. They're very loud. So it's like, I don't really like either, to be honest.
You hate both places.
Yeah, I don't like anything.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, similarities. I don't know about similarities. I have to think about that. I don't know. That's a difficult question. I haven't really thought about this. I always think about the differences, you know, about this place and that place and these people and these people. I mean, I guess we all like shit and piss at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
That
We're all
is true.
people. We're all humans. So yeah,
Definitely
that's
got
a
shit
similarity.
and piss. Shitting and pissing, yeah. Without it,
Yeah.
you know, are we even human if we don't do that?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So we're all the same shit at the end of the day.
All the same shit and piss.
Exactly.
Can't forget about that.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it'd be some weird alien or some shit.
Exactly.
I don't know. Damn.
Yeah.
So okay, Poland. What's the top 3 things about Poland one should know about? You know, I'm thinking about going there.
Oh, you're thinking about going to Poland?
Maybe.
Well, number 1, don't go to Warsaw. I mean, you can.
Okay.
I'm from Krakow, which is like the better city.
But
well,
of
like
course,
we have like a rivalry obviously going on, but Krakow is nicer to visit. Krakow, Wrocław, Poznań, those are nice. If you're coming from Berlin, then Wrocław, Breslau is like a 3-hour train ride away. Krakow is a little further. It's like 7 hours on the train, 1 hour by plane, but I like to take the trains. And Yeah, I would, because Warsaw is nice, but like most of it was destroyed during the war. So it's like all been rebuilt, and they didn't like make the best aesthetic choices, in my opinion. Um, but Krakow is like fully like it's historical. It's beautiful. It's like it's very very old, and
Wow.
it's a gorgeous city. We're gonna get so much hate from Warsaw people.
Okay.
Yeah,
the rivalry is real.
No, Warsaw's got its. It's a nice city. It's got its stuff going on. But if you have to pick one, in my opinion, if you like Warsaw out there, fucking fine. But in my opinion, I would go to Krakow.
Mhm.
That's my home. That's my city. It's beautiful. What else do you want to know about Poland? The foods. Well, it's good. I like it. It's,
Okay.
If you're, I mean, obviously try pierogies.
Oh yeah.
It's not the most flavorful thing in the world because we didn't get a lot of seasoning. You know,
Right.
we don't have a lot of that. Well, we do now, but like the
Back in the
food
day, it
back in the
wasn't.
day, it wasn't really
Only like salt or something, right?
yeah, like salt and pepper. You know,
Okay.
kind of basic stuff.
Right.
But yeah, definitely have pierogies. They're fucking great. They're so good, dude. What else can I tell you about Poland? Yeah, if you like I said, if you get stared at by old people, just ignore it. You know what I mean? Just ignore it because they will stare. They love to stare.
Okay, a lot of staring.
Yeah, I mean the Krakow, like the bigger cities, they're relatively safe. On the outside areas, it can be like you can get like some nationalist fucking asshole people because it is
Nationalist,
like
okay.
a religious country, very Catholic, you know.
Oh, okay.
But in the cities, people are more liberal, more open-minded. So yeah.
All right.
I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know if there's something specific you'd want to know.
Nah, I think it's just like all these countries that are this close in proximity. I'm always like I'm trying to get myself up to a level where I can just travel and go there. Like I'm not there yet.
I think you are. I think you're just.
Nah, like I mean, even again, I was on
What are
Google
you afraid
Flights.
of?
I don't. That glare was oh shit, this is the real episode of Third Culture Talk inside the mind of Nya. But I think it's still a big deal in my mind.
Yeah, because you're from that. You like we always talk about. You're in the U.S. for so long, and traveling to a different country from the U.S. is like, or coming to Europe. That's like a big fucking thing, right?
Huge.
Right, because there you travel, but you could travel like look at it as traveling states, you know, because it's the same kind of size, right?
Yeah, but this okay, because it's funny you said that because I remember I put a post up on Instagram and like a lot of people was going back and forth with the same thing about the traveling, right? Mm-hmm. About some states in America are bigger than some places in Europe.
Yeah,
but it's just like if I go from New York to Texas, it's the same language, maybe a southern drawl, maybe the barbecue's better, but then that's it really. And then you got guns, which is, is a big deal. But then when you're going from Berlin to like a Poland, that's a whole different language, different, like y'all got pierogies. They didn't got pierogies here,
yeah,
right?
but you're going to speak English at the end of the day anyway. Everybody speaks, well, like most people speak English wherever you go, in Krakow as well, in Poland, wherever you go in Poland, the big cities. Mm-hmm. Everyone speaks English. Like you'll be able to do fine with that,
yeah, I guess it's just still like even going from here to like a Switzerland, it's like oh my god, like y'all might go to what? I might go to the place where they got chocolates and all this stuff and money. Like
Switzerland is pretty. I mean, they do speak a similar language, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's just like another country. I think state doesn't have the same weight as country. Like all right, even going. Maybe being in New York made it even worse, right? Because New York is like if you live in Brooklyn, say for example, this is always common. If you're in Brooklyn and say you meet somebody and they live in the Bronx and like say you guys like want to date or something, that's too far. That's too far.
Oh, really?
That's too far. I swear to God, there's people in the Bronx where I'm like, I'll see you 6 months from now. Like I'm not gonna see you on every day. Like an hour.
God damn.
In New York is like hell. Like hour is like that's too far. I'm not gonna see you there. You meet me right in the middle. I gotta travel at max 45 minutes for me to see you.
God damn.
Oh yeah. So
people are intense about that, huh?
Yeah. Like if you live in the Bronx, nobody's seeing you. Nobody going out there to see you.
God damn.
Yeah. Queens. It's like what part of Queens? Even that. It's like So like. 45 minutes is like max. If it's above, it's like this better be a good reason. I better like love you. I better, have some type of reason. If I'm traveling here, I better get some monetary like value from this. Otherwise, I ain't coming out there to see you.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, you gotta be a very good friend. Oh yeah. So now thinking about it, New York fucked me up. Yeah. So when I hear another country, I'm just like, whoa, what's out?
Yeah, the long travel times, but you can. I mean, I've gotten used to it at this point, and it's like at this point when I just was on tour with another comedian, and we were in we did cities in Germany and Austria and in Slovakia, and for me it didn't even really feel like I was in different countries,
Wow.
Just crossing the border with the train, it's just like nothing even happens when you cross the border. Like you just suddenly, I was in Germany and now I'm in Austria. Okay.
There's no confetti.
No, there's no
nothing,
fucking,
no
nobody
fanfare.
even checks your ID or anything. You just cross the border with the train and you're fucking in a different country. I mean, to be fair, Austria and Germany are pretty similar, but still, it's like, I don't know. Even when we were entering Slovakia from Austria, nobody's checking nothing. We just crossed the border with the train. We're there. It doesn't really feel like that big of a deal anymore. Maybe when you go further out, like when you go to like Spain or Portugal, then it feels quite different,
right?
Because it's like warmer, different kind of architecture, that stuff. But still, it's like it's like you can do it as a weekend trip here. You can just go over to Barcelona, have some fun, come back, and you're not going to break the bank. You know what I mean?
That is such a mind-blowing thing. Like in terms of just being like, I'll go to Barcelona for the weekend and then,
Yeah, people just go to Paris or like, I'm going to do some shows in Paris this weekend. And they just hop on a plane and go to Paris.
Right.
It's not expensive to go. I mean, it's expensive to find a place to stay in Paris, but the flights and stuff like that, it's really not bad. Yeah, but I like the train travel the most. I like taking the Paris is a little too far to go by train, although I could probably do it. But yeah, I like going around like the Central Europe, Eastern Europe, taking the trains. It's very relaxing, very nice.
So what's the shortest trip you ever taken, like here in Europe, that you were just like, all right, like what's the shortest trip just in general that you've taken in Europe?
Well, just like what, like from, you mean like
shortest in terms of length of stay, like
length of stay. Well, I mean, when I'm on tour, then I'm like
aside from
touring,
like you actually going out there just to I don't know, this is a trip or something.
I don't really remember. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe Barcelona. But that's kind of like how I would usually do, is like 4 days, like Thursday to Monday.
4 days and that's it?
Yeah. Thursday to Monday.
Okay, that's a mind fuck for me. Yeah, because only 4 days?
Yeah, but I do what I need to do on the weekend, and then I have fun, and then I come back.
That shit is mine.
That's what I usually do if I go somewhere,
That is crazy. Like, Barcelona, like even me thinking about it, I'm like, oh shit, like do I got a week or something? I don't know. This might be the last time. I got to make sure this is only this, and then that's it. Like I'm planning it big time in my mind, but it's stupid.
There's probably shorter things I've done as well, but that would probably be more like, I don't know, like a hiking trip for like 1 day or something, but in my own country.
A hiking trip in another country, just the fucking hike? Oh my God. I'm going in with the empty 32 kg suitcase.
Oh, no, I remember the shortest one. I was on a school camp in Poland, and we were close to the border and with Czech, and we just crossed over the border to Czech, and we walked around, and then we went back on the same day. Because it's right there. It's like, it's not like it's far. We were right next to the border.
That shit. Wow. I guess I got a lot to learn or so in this Europe place.
Everything's close. Everyone's nice and cozy in Europe. Everyone's very tight. It's nice, so you can get around. It's fun.
Fuck. That's interesting.
you gotta explore. Go out there.
I know. I need
that's just holding you back,
Yeah, except for my own subconscious.
Yeah,
my own New York. I'm thinking like fucking Slovakia is the Bronx and shit, and I'm like, I don't know, Bronx. I'm not gonna travel all the way from.
Free your mind and your ass will follow, as they say.
Who's they?
Funkadelic. I heard that in a song. I was just. I was listening to Funkadelic, and they said that in the song. There was like some guy.
Yeah.
They were all on acid, and they were like,
okay.
"Free your mind, and your ass will follow." And I just
Yeah.
liked that quote, so I wanted to share it with you.
No, actually, now thinking back, I think it was like the words that just threw me. I was like, what? But I'm like, oh no, that has some meaning to it.
No, it's nice. I like it.
All right, yeah, it got some nice meaning to it. So, Berlin, how long you been in Berlin for?
A little over a year. Yeah, I moved here last year. Well, I came in the summer of 2022. And I was supposed to just stay for the summer just to hang out, but then I liked it so much that I ended up just moving here.
Wow.
So yeah.
In that same summer.
Yeah. I mean, I came in like June, and then I was just hanging out, and I really liked it. I was doing a lot of stand-up, which was great, because back in Poland, I could only perform like once a week, which really was not cutting it for me.
Yeah.
And here I was suddenly going up like 3 times a night, you know what I mean? Just really fucking grinding, and it was great. And yeah, and then I was supposed to go back to Poland and continue art school, and I got back there, and I started to really feel like the emptiness of not being able to do comedy every day, because like I know my friends back in Berlin are going up every night and getting better, and I'm just sitting around just waiting to do a spot, you know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't survive there long before I was like, fuck this, fuck art school, I'm going back to Berlin. And I did, and I'm glad I made the right decision.
Wow.
So yeah.
Damn. So Berlin, and you came during the summertime. That's like the best time in Berlin.
Oh yeah, Berlin summers are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear good
But
things
then the
about it.
Berlin, everybody's like, oh, the Berlin winter sucks, blah, blah, blah. But it really wasn't that bad for me, because I still got to do shows.
Mhm.
Also, I'm in love, which is great. It makes the winter much nicer.
Aww. Aww.
It's warmer, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I've been loving it ever since.
Nice. You know,
So,
okay,
yeah.
this is a good point then. So a lot of people who complain about the winter they're probably not in love.
Maybe it's that, or they're not doing something that they love.
Either
you know?
or.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm doing stand-up, so like it makes it bearable. The shows are also packed in the winter, so that's good. You know?
yeah.
So even if I wasn't in love, then I would still be like, hell yeah, I get to do stand-up every day. This is fucking awesome. I love doing this. I'd still be happy. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you're fucking really complaining about the winters that bad, find a hobby, okay? Stop bitching.
Stop bitching.
You guys just do nothing but complain.
Yeah.
Enjoy your lives, you know?
Gotta enjoy it.
Yeah.
And when the last time you been to the States?
It was like 2020 actually. It was
Oh.
in the COVID break, when COVID decided I'm going for a break in the summer. You remember that, when this started in February of 2020?
Yeah.
And then like in like June around the summertime, they were like, okay, no more lockdown. And then the lockdown
right.
came back after that.
Yeah.
So I went during the time where the COVID was off on holiday break or whatever the fuck it was doing. And yeah, I went there for a wedding in the U.S., which was weird because I was 20 at the time, or was I? No, I was 19, and I was at a wedding and I couldn't fucking drink at the wedding. Isn't that
Oh.
ridiculous? In Poland, we drink. I mean, the legal age from Poland to drink is 18, but
Mhm.
like socially, the drinking age is like 12. So no, more like you know, the family will give you like a little bit of vodka to try here and there.
That vodka.
It's all good. But yeah, I'm at the U.S. They're very strict about it. They're very strict about the 21 and over thing, which is kind of dumb in my opinion. Well, it's very dumb in my opinion actually, because like you might as well want to make all the stupid drunk mistakes when you're younger. Like when you're like 17, 18, you get fucked up and you like black out and it's like the worst thing ever. And then you learn from that
Mhm.
and then you don't do that shit again. So now at 22, I'm not having those nights anymore. I'll have 2 beers. I'm stable. I know what I'm doing. Right. While in the US, people are like getting drunk for the first time at 21 and making fools out of themselves.
Right.
When they could have done that when they were younger and get it out of the way and now live a more sophisticated, honorable life. You know?
Fuck. I never really thought about it that way.
That's what I think, right? You got to do the stupid shit when you're younger, and then now I'm still young,
Yeah.
but I can like be around people that are way older than me and not look like a fucking idiot, and not like in stand up. There's people like mainly in their like late 20s, 30s, and I'm usually kind of the youngest there.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was just getting drunk and being obnoxious, then who would want to hang out with me and book me on their show? You know what I mean?
Damn.
So I feel like it served me well that when I was younger, I was making stupid mistakes, and now I'm like, okay, I've done it, and now I'm fine, and I can talk, you know?
This has been like the best explanation or case
Reasoning.
for drinking early in
Right?
life. I never, you just blew my fucking mind. I'm not gonna lie to you, you know, because I'm like, when I hear it, I'm like, whoa, you started drinking when? That's crazy. But now you're just breaking it down. God damn, that's a good ass.
Right? That's what I think, you know? Maybe you don't agree with me. Maybe
No, because you
should
don't drink. I don't really see you, because, yeah, you know, like, because you're in your early 20s, right?
Yeah, I'm 22
So,
now.
22, right? So, you know, I know when I was at that age, I was drinking my brains out.
Yeah, right?
You know?
Because you just got it. You just started.
got it.
You know?
Yeah.
But and it's like, and it's so hard to get it when you're younger in the U.S., right? Like they
Yeah.
ID you fucking everywhere. I mean, I guess there's ways around it. You get someone to buy it for you, but
Yeah, you look older or something.
but still, it's like it's definitely not as common.
Not at all,
and
yeah.
Once you hit 21 and you're like, oh shit, I can do this legally. I don't have to fucking worry about getting it. Then you're getting fucked up like crazy, right? And then you get DUIs and all those stupid things. That doesn't happen nearly on the level that it happens in the U.S. People drunk driving.
Really? And they don't do that in Poland?
I mean, there are drunk drivers, for sure, definitely, but not on the same level, because like I feel like in the U.S. also driving is just like everybody has to drive. You have to. There's no buses, no public transport in a lot of the smaller places, right? So you get a lot of DUIs because people are like, oh, I'm going to go to a party, I'm not going to drink much, but then they end up drinking a lot, and then they fucking, you know, have an accident or whatever, and that's not good. So, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
Nah, you have convinced me about drinking early in life. I feel like I missed out. I feel like I started life late.
right?
Yeah.
That's how I would feel if I started now. If I just started drinking now and I had to like get over the whole excitement of it. Now it's like, all right, I know what it is. It doesn't fucking excite me anymore. Really,
That's
it's fine.
wild. Cause you're 22. Like 22 in America. That's a blur because of the alcohol you drinking.
Right?
No one remembers 22 because just like you drinking your brains out, you doing all these bad decisions, all this other shit. Because, you know, we're not drinking early. Even people that do drink early, it's just because of the whole stigma and also to the law of like not being able to do it socially in like places.
Yeah.
I know people that started drinking early, and when they turn 21, it's like, oh my God, I can just increase this amount more.
Yeah. Because now it feels like it's not like you don't have to worry if you're able to even get it, right? You can just go out and get it. So, yeah.
Go out and get it. And then now, if anything, people use it as an experience. But, oh, okay, I know what type of liquor to get me fucked up. That's what I know. That's the experience I have.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. So, like, in Europe, though, for the most part, it's like age 8. What's the age, drinking age or something like that?
In Poland or here?
Would you say all of Europe have the same drinking age, or like each country has their own?
Yeah, no. Everyone's like 18. But, like, for example, here in Germany, I believe, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I believe this is true, where you can get beer and like very soft alcohol, like less than 10% at 16.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's true. You gotta double check that, but
soft alcohol.
I believe I've heard that multiple times. But yeah, everywhere else it's 18. No, wait, I think somewhere maybe like fucking Norway or some I believe some Nordic countries, it might be 21. Yeah. But apart from that, it's pretty much all around, it's 18.
18. Damn, that is something else. Even going out, too. Like 18, you know.
Yeah. There are clubs, like even in Berlin, there are clubs that are like 21 plus, but most of them are 18.
Wow.
I remember even there were like rave parties in Poland, like those kind of like techno rave parties where you could go at 16 if you had a paper signed by your parent.
You serious?
Yeah, and then they would give you like a specific colored wristband so that they wouldn't serve you alcohol, but you could still like go to like a fucking club.
So, you know, whole entire fucking rave just, well, I mean, somewhat sober. Pretty sure there's like some other shit going on, but
yeah.
Damn, that is interesting as hell. Okay. So one thought I have, right, is that so you have this energy of kind of like, like would you consider it brash or something like that? I don't know, brash is a bad
Brash.
word.
I like
Like
that. Yeah.
I know I don't
Mm.
like it either. So
I
let me
like
just
it. No,
stop
I
that.
said I like it.
Oh, you do like it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right, you do like it. You like brash. Okay. Did you get into a lot of fights when you were younger?
Does it really? Is that what it comes off as? Yes. No. No. Actually, I didn't. I wasn't a very violent person or anything like that. I feel like the stage has been a place for me to get out a lot of my repressed anger, because a lot of things would piss me off in life, and I would just kind of like fucking push it down there,
Yeah.
right, and not like make a fuss, because that's
Mhm.
I never wanted to be like a fucking nuisance to anybody.
Yeah.
So I always like push my anger down. And then on stage, then it works great because I can let it out and
Yeah,
people
you-
laugh at it and it's cathartic and it's fantastic.
Mhm.
So yeah, I wouldn't say I ever really got into fights or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Cause like usually, I mean, again, this is like maybe my bias or whatever. Cause like I came from a rough neighborhood. It was not the roughest, thankfully, but it was rough enough. Like it was rough enough that everyone who was a boy at a certain age got punched in the face. Like that's just the case. It's like, all right, if you didn't get punched in the face, people thought you was gay or something like that. That's basically where it stands.
That's what qualifies you for homosexuality. Is if you didn't get punched in the face.
And what's funny is that even the neighborhoods around, like the gay dudes was the best fighters. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, they like, and it was funny. It was like a double stigma. So it was like, okay, you getting your ass whooped, but you getting your ass whooped by a gay person. Like this is back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was like double entendre type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here and there. That was back in the not good old days.
Yeah.
Some type of weird days. Anyways, so you ain't get into that much fights or something like that, but you have this personality. And for me, where I come from, when you have that personality, it comes from like a lot of friction. You know what I mean? Like with other people and stuff. And that's interesting that you didn't really have that, not fights, but just friction with other people.
I mean, I had some bad things happen to me when I was younger. I'm not going to get into
No, yeah.
But I think that's like, that anger comes from that, you know?
Okay.
That like roughness, that like the walls, the defensiveness, the get the fuck away from me, that comes from that.
Okay.
But on the inside, I'm a softie. I'm a sweetheart on the inside, but I have just rough exterior, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I feel like with comedy too, like, that it kind of have people like, cause we all come from, and again, not talking about your situation, I'm talking like more of mine and people that I know, of like having an outlet for certain feelings you may have or something like that, and being able to put it into a format that's like digestible, I guess. Because like, sometimes with comedy, some people go in some dark,
Yeah.
they'll be like, hey, so this happened to me. You be like, oh, whoa, what? You be like,
Yeah.
you looking behind, you be like, yo, whoa.
Talking about those topics is tough, man. People that go
Yeah.
into that is crazy. That like their personal fucking trauma and shit on stage. You really like you can't even show the slightest amount of fear or that this is still hurting you, because then the audience will immediately be like, oh fuck, this is weird, this is therapy, this is strange.
Yeah.
You have to be able to be so comfortable with it that you can just easily laugh it off and like make fun of yourself. But if you show the fear, then they're gonna turn. Like I had some bits that I tried to do like that about like more personal stuff,
Right.
and it would work if I was like in a good mood and fucking yeah, and then the audience would be on board. But there was a few times but then going up and repeating it, you know, and doing that bit again, and you're like, oh fuck, this sucks, and I have to talk about it. Then the times where you're not in the right mood, the audience just smells it that this hurts you, and they're not gonna laugh at that because they feel bad for you, you know. So yeah, if to do that personal stuff, you gotta be it's gotta be like really behind you.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Which is that's something else. Every time I hear it, I just be like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
You be like, fuck, But I guess that's comedy where it's like, I guess it's an interesting thing you brought up too, because that thing about when some people do go up on stage and use it as therapy. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like you there and you're like, Okay.
Yeah.
I got a number to a therapist if you want it.
Yeah, it's got to be real funny. You got to have some solid jokes in there,
Yeah.
you know?
Have you ever used both your art, like you painting and comedy together? Like,
I'm starting to work on that right now. I'm gonna try to make. I've made a few like prototypes. I'm still trying to figure out the style that I want, but I'm making like comics, like just little like the type of stuff that you would see in newspapers back in the day, just like jokes in drawing format,
right.
just comic strips basically.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I'm been working on that. Still haven't figured out like what the characters are gonna be and what the style of it is gonna be, and also I don't have anything digital to make it on, but I'm going to have an iPad at some point.
Nice.
With the Apple Pencil, and then I'll be able to make digital art, and then I want to make like just a whole series of these web comics and have an Instagram for it, and just post all sorts of just jokes.
Yeah.
But drawing jokes, you know.
Oh shit. Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Yeah.
That's fucking dope. And I'm curious. So, who's your top 3 comedians that you look up to?
Oh,
like,
that's such a. I always these questions are always rough for me because I always change it and then I forget about people and then blah, blah, blah. But Bill Burr is definitely up there for me because I love that ranty fuck you fuck this style. Bill Burr, Bill Hicks, I love as well. Specifically his album, it's on YouTube. Highly recommend it to all the listeners. It's called Rant in E Minor. It's a great title, by the way. Rant in E Minor. What the fuck? That's so
legendary.
Good. And it's just an album, no video. You just listen to it, but it's fucking fantastic. It's the most unhinged performance of Bill Hicks you will ever see in your life.
Yeah.
He's losing his fucking mind on stage. It's great. It's so good. Bill Hicks, Norm Macdonald, fantastic joke writer. Just jokes. It's just full of them. I love Joan Rivers. I love her whole demeanor as well. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I just love these high energy people, but just the joke writers as well. Like I said, Norm Macdonald. You asked for 3, but George Carlin as well. Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. Sarah Silverman, especially early Sarah Silverman.
Oh yeah.
Fucking great. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna forget people, and I can go off on for ages about my favorite comedians.
You can make an Instagram post about it or something.
Yeah.
Or somebody look at it like, oh yeah, wow, that's her first. I thought, why did I this person or that person?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Berlin comics are gonna be like, why not me? Because you fucking suck. You all suck. I suck. You suck. We all suck. Okay. When are people gonna realize that?
Comedy's just a construct, you know? Like, what? How we get here? That's hilarious. One more question I have. So you did comedy in Poland, and then you did comedy in Berlin.
That's where I started.
Right, you started. What's some of the main differences you felt between doing comedy in Poland and doing comedy in Berlin?
Well, the main thing is that Berlin, there's more comedians in Berlin. In Poland, where I started, like, I would get a lot of praise very early on, like almost too much praise, but that's just because there was not that many people that were really like working hard and trying really hard. There were, I'm not going to say there weren't, there's good people there, but like, it's not like there's like one show a week. Now I think there's like maybe another show a week. I ran a show for a little bit, but that was like shortly before I came to Berlin, so it wasn't around for that long. And yeah, there's just not that many people there, so it's not exactly hard to like fucking feel like the best comedian over there. People can get in their head and be like, well, I'm a fucking great comedian, but it's because there's nobody else around you. You're a fish in a, what would you say, fish in a small pond?
I like you trying to
fish in a pond, fish in a small pond. If you go to Berlin, then you're a fish in a medium-sized pond. If you go to New York, you're a fish in a fucking ocean. Okay, so it's like you gotta like figure out where you stand, right? Because in Poland, like when I started there, like I said, it was like very like, wow, you're amazing, you're gonna fucking you're a star, you're gonna make it, and which is nice to hear, but like, it's almost like, but then you come to Berlin and there's other people that are also really fucking working and really fucking talented and doing their thing and just trying really hard. And it feels like, I like it though, because it feels like I have like peers now, like people that are like, I'm leveled with, you know?
Right.
If I go to New York, then even fucking bigger than that, right? Like there's so many, like there's the best comedians in the world are there, right?
Yeah.
Or some of them, right? And yeah, that was the big change for me, is that like being somewhere where there's more competition, so to say, more shows, more like just more comedians that are trying and working really hard. Back in Poland, it was sort of, you could feel like you're on top of the world when you're really not that fucking great at all, you know?
Interesting.
So yeah.
Okay, it's so new over there. Is that kind of the case?
Yeah. I mean, with English stand-up specifically, I'm talking about, because I didn't really do Polish stand-up very much.
Oh, you did do Polish stand-up?
I did a little bit, but that was never really my world, because I don't think in Polish. It's not like, it doesn't come naturally for me to write jokes in Polish. Also, Polish humor is very specific, and it's just not really my world. While English, that's what I think. There's most of my jokes I wouldn't even be able to translate into Polish, because they just wouldn't make any sense in Polish.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I've always stuck to English stand up. So yeah, that English scene, it's just nothing really. It's just, I mean, there are people there. They're good. They're trying. They're funny, right? But it's just way smaller. It's a little tiny fishbowl. Yeah.
Fishbowl.
Yeah.
I like this. I like the fishbowl, then the pond, then the ocean.
Yeah, I'm trying to visualize it.
And that could be part of your new painting or something. I don't know.
Yeah, fishbowl.
It's a fishbowl with a whole bunch of comedians floating in. That'd be like sleeping with the fishes. That's more of an Italian thing. That would be interesting. All right. So, you got anything coming up, or?
I mean, I'm doing shows. When are you gonna post this?
When am I gonna post it?
Yeah, because
I'm gonna post it. Next week to wherever that means to people.
I have a show this Friday, but this is not gonna be up by the time the show is gonna be over when this is out. But follow my Instagram. It's Maya Comedian. I post all sorts of things, sketches, comedy. And I post my shows, what I'm going to do, on my stories. I also have an art account called Maya Upchurch. I post my paintings there. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for doing this, Maya.
Thank you for having me. This is very fun. I love doing podcasts.
All right, cool. Well, one out of many, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for watching the Third Culture Talk podcast. This is Nya Yeanafehn. Peace.